Hi, welcome to Shellie Live. I'm Shellie Carter, owner, founder, public speaker, and teacher of Alder Healing Center. Shellie Live, the place where magic happens. I was so present too the other day that not only does it feel like this year's flying by, but February is Heart Healthy Month. And it's Valentine's. Yay! Oh, wait, and it's my birth month. Yay! So, welcome to Shellie Live. I'm your host, Shellie Carter, owner and founder of Alder Healing Center here in beautiful Lombard. And today I'm going to let you know that at the end of the show, we're going to be gifting away 5 free 15-minute custom meditations. So for those of you who are listening, type in Heart 15 to receive your meditation. And then there's another something special that will be presented at the end of the show. And so stay tuned. Be sure and subscribe and like. Send us comments because this is going to be an engaging conversation between you listening in as well as just questions that I filter through with clients during the week. So, our topic of conversation today is, are you a victim to your body? So, what might that mean? And can you save yourself through food? Our guest today is Dr. Israel. Dr. Israel can be found here at Alder Healing Center. So, Dr. Israel, welcome to Shellie Live.
Thank you, Shellie. Thanks for inviting me. I'm grateful to be here, and hello to all of you out there.
It's so great to have you here. And the topic of conversation is one that I'm in on a daily basis, on a regular basis, which I'm sure you are also. And it's the question then becomes is how do we get nutrient dense foods in our systems? It's one thing to go to the store and buy food if we can get to the store. It's another thing, conventional versus organic. And then it's like, okay, is there more than that? And so that's part of what we're going to be talking about today. Um, what is your heart telling you today? Is it happy? Is it sad? Did you wake up saying, woohoo, I'm ready to start my day? Or are you like, covers over the hat, I'm going back to sleep? So let's ponder that for a moment. And while you're pondering, Dr. Israel, if you can share a little bit about yourself and what got you involved in the projects that you do and becoming health and balance and finding that happy place. So, would you like to share with us?
Yes. Um, well, I went to National College of Chiropractic, is now the National University of Health Sciences in Lombard,
Hmm.
and I started practice in 1985. And my practice is also heavily nutrition, and so I've been preparing nutritional diets for people and also going to their homes and teaching them how to prepare healthy meals. So that's where it started.
Well, so that was how long ago?
Ooh, that was 38 years ago.
Now, you have an interesting childhood growing up. So, um, you one of the things that you've said is like, Shellie, I am not of this world. Somebody beam me down. So
Yeah.
let's start at the age of 5 moving forward.
Okay. Well, at age 5, I asked my mother, "Who am I? Why am I here? And why am I on this planet? Because I surely I'm not from this planet." Yeah, I'd seen so much going on, and I said, "There's so much going on that I can't be from here."
Yeah. Like what, like give me an example.
Well, at that time, there were, in 1956 when we came to Chicago, I was aware of what happened with Emmett Till, and then having come from the South, we were taught certain things uh, to do, not to do,
Mm.
We just couldn't be free to be ourselves
Yeah.
without getting the family in some type of trouble.
Uh-oh.
And I'd had my some of my uncles had
Now
already
you're originally from Mississippi, right?
yes,
Yeah.
and I had some uncles that had moved here already, trying to escape, because they probably would have been lynched or something. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I was aware of all of that, and even though I believed that the world was basically a good world, uh, I just couldn't imagine, how people thought and the things that they did. That was like it was evil to me.
Mm. And then you found food.
Yes, yes. My mother was a cook, um, and my father. Both of them were in spiritual studies, and so I directed most of my questions that way. And I learned to prepare some of my mother's dishes that I really liked, you know. And she had us to go through a cleansing every spring and every fall,
Mm.
but the cleansing was with castor oil.
Woo! For those of you out there who know anything about castor oil, oh baby, I don't even know how she got it in you.
Well, it was like you take the castor oil, and she had a spoonful of honey or peppermint or something afterwards. So yeah.
Boy, I think that would have swayed me away from the health food. Although my grandmother, when I was growing up, we grew up with she raised us for a number of years, and so we grew up with cod liver oil with orange juice with a raw egg every morning, and it was like it's like
Uh,
really we got to drink this, and I'd have tears running down my face.
yeah.
and
But
now
one
look
but
and
one
now
thing
look
I
at where we're both at today,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And one thing I noticed throughout all of that is that I never got sick.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, what is it? Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we're going to put on the video of what you've been up to because you're involved in different organizations that have to do with gardening and sustainable living and urban cult. Am I saying it right? Urban culture, urban gardening,
Yes.
and um, and and then we'll talk about the results that have happened in especially specifically the Lawndale community by planting urban gardens. So if we can watch that video.
Open, open, somebody, always open.
I love that everyone
These
looks like they're having fun.
okra, and
Yeah.
these are banana peppers. And over there, she got string beans lined up. My neighbor, she kind of comes out and help me. Those what you call them, red the beets. Yeah, beets. And those are cucumbers. I'm trying over there.
Now I
I love
noticed
the
those
garden. I
are
love the
planted
dirt.
in the
You got to love
ground.
it
Can
to
we
accomplish
pause the
anything.
video,
This is a
please?
garden ran by the kids.
Well, that actually it looks like it was planted in the ground, but those are actually raised beds. You just couldn't see them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So one of the questions that someone had asked me, because they live in the city of Chicago, and when you're clearing out where an apartment complex or a home used to be, and people were dumping um, their garbage and cars, leaving them there, like how do you prepare the soil for that type of an environment, or can you?
Yes. Well, first we always do soil tests, and we do contamination tests to see what's there. Is there lead? Is there cadmium? Is Are those type of things present?
Hmm.
And then we would uh, do sometimes 6 to 12 inches of wood chips just to separate ourselves um, from that ground. And it's always recommended in an urban environment that you uh, have raised beds.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Is that because of the contaminants that's actually in the ground, right?
yes, you want to separate yourself from the contaminants in the urban environment.
Okay. So we'll head back to the video.
Of the neighborhood. These vegetables they take to the market.
That looks gorgeous.
And this is actually the farm on Ogden.
We want the kids to be able to identify the beauty with the flowers and stuff like that. Because, the kids need to see something nice and not just all concrete and jungle.
We designed this the garden at Miss Penn. We had tomatoes, kale, Swiss chard. It's all kind of this is the herb garden here, the herb box here. This is tomatoes. It is a nice, peaceful place for the community. You can always come up and volunteer.
We started this in 2005 as a result of our healthy eating and physical activity program. We had 24 families that were involved, so we wanted to continue it. So the garden is open. We just ask people to come out and help us de-weed and keep the garden straight. This is Swiss chard right here. It's like spinach. Mm-hmm. And yes, you can. Yeah, you can take that one.
I see the open. I got some Swiss chard. Yes, I'm gonna have me a salad tonight. A fresh salad.
It does say what we can do in our communities. There's this concept that there are food deserts in our community, that people have to travel long distances to go to the store. And some people have said that because we have to travel those distances that they can't really get good vegetables. Right. And so we do this. One thing since we've been doing all of this is I haven't had to go to the store for any collards or turnips or any of those things.
I'm gonna put that down first. But I know it has to be. I got one. Down here. Hands up like you
Too big for you? Too big for you?
I'll take one of those.
Yes, it is. I think this is. He went right down in here somewhere.
This is our African garden.
And people parked cars on it, and they threw rubbish on it, and we decided to make a garden so that to keep the people from dumping on it.
It's really beautiful when you wake up in the morning and you look out and you see all the flowers and the butterflies and all of the different little insects that go with the garden. That you don't never see the birds, the lightning bugs, all that. It's really wonderful. It makes it, the open space is just great. You get to know your neighbors.
So there was another video you sent that was it wasn't produced by a minister, but she was actively involved in helping the communities with their gardens and that type of thing. And part of what I love about what you're doing, Dr. Israel, is it actually helps create community inside the community. So anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of community gardens. You get to interface and know your neighbors. Um, you get the fellowship. We create events in the garden, and it's one way of building the community and focusing on what we want, and what we get what we want, we can erase the things that we don't want. We approach it from that standpoint.
Yeah. So there's a couple things I want to talk about. One is nutrient dense foods. The other is one of the things on her video she mentioned is that the crime rate went down over, I think it was like 58 percent. It may be higher at this point. And I don't know what span of time that was, but for the crime rate to come down that amount, that's like enormous. I can see it just transforming your community. And before I go into WTTW, what do you want to say?
Yeah, whenever we create a community garden, uh, people who are going to do anything uh, associated with crime or drugs, they tend to move. Um, they go to another corner or another block. And so anytime we create a community garden, many times the police will tell us, uh, thank you,
Mm,
because now I don't have to worry so much about this area.
yeah. Yeah. And it's even say, keeps them safe. And I know one of the things that we were talking about earlier, um, there's a course I wrote, it's called Purify Your Soul with Herbs. So when you start to feed your body real food, like the
Yeah,
collards and the tomatoes, like that's a real food, right? It's
yeah,
food in its whole state, nothing refined, nothing processed.
right.
It's your body can actually work with it. And not only does it elevate your spiritual awareness, but it elevates your energy, your mental capacity. So when you do better for your body or your temple, as some people call it, it helps with what depression, anxiety, what other things have you noticed?
Yeah. Well, your body is not unlike the soil, the plants, the animals. We all have a connection with the earth,
Hmm.
and so and we like to get minerals. There's a mineral component to it, foundational minerals. There's energy. Um, there's the biology of the soil, and we have that biology within our colon, within our gastrointestinal tract.
Yeah.
So many times we eat the plants. We get some of those organisms from the plant.
Hmm.
So plant health is human health.
Yeah. And the best way to have great plant health is replenishing the soil with the nutrients that is either not in it, because I know you were talking earlier about like topsoil is sterile, so to speak, right? Did I get that right?
Some people produce sterile topsoil. Sometimes they import it from farmland. It's not sterile then, and that's some of the best soil. Sometimes you can get some to inoculate your soil from the forest preserve. Um, you have to look for the shiniest plant there because those are producing the essential oils.
Ah,
So, and then you put that as an inoculant in your soil, and it has all of the microorganisms that you need in there.
hmm.
Some of your weeds pull up the uh, certain minerals. So there's a lot to what nature does, and we just have to recognize what nature does, and we
Mm,
can apply that to our
yeah,
soils.
yeah. So, if I were going to start a garden, how would you recommend that I start? Well, even before I get into that, I wanted to talk about crime for a minute. I was watching WTTW Chicago Tonight a couple weeks ago on Black Voices, dated January 28th, 2023. And there's a technology company where they put in gunshot detections to help reduce crime. And the shocking thing for me is the city of Chicago spent $33 million for a 3-year contract to have these devices put in. And I just got to think, it's like, wow, what if those areas started urban gardens? What kind of difference would that make? And then when I saw the other video where having the gardens reduced crime by 58%, it's like, okay, maybe that's something to seriously take a look at and to consider putting in. I'd rather invest in something that's going to create a higher return on lowering crime versus just having a few numbers change. So I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, the crime rate, well, that 33 million billion dollars or $1 million that would be best spent in these areas where you have crime, because people, they really want to work, and people out of work, uh, they're in this at the survival level. So you're looking at, am I able to work? Do I have housing? Do I have food to eat?
Hmm.
And if I don't, I'm in the survival level. I can't even imagine going on vacation or having, disposable income or anything like that. So we need to look at issues like that to, uh, lower the crime rate.
Yeah. I know you have an event coming up. John, if
Yes,
you can pull up the event.
yes. This is an event that's put on by the Chicago Food Policy Action Council. And this is the 18th annual Chicago Food Justice Summit.
Okay.
It's going to be put on for 3 days. That's February 8th, 9th, and 10th. And February 8th and 9th are virtual. So anybody want to participate in that, you can register at bit.ly at that what's showing on the screen. And and then there are modules that you can see during the course of those two days.
So
And
can you
ours
go ahead?
and ours is at on Thursday, February 9th. And we're going to talk about how to build resilient and regenerative food hubs and our experience at doing that.
Awesome. So you guys will want to make sure that you register, and just any questions you have, drop it in the chat below. And then hopefully we'll see you on the program in February. And then the last day of the event is what day?
It's February 10th.
February 10th. And so what's special about that day?
That day they it will be an in-person event at the student center uh, at UIC campus,
Okay.
and we're just gonna talk about all of the modules that we had, and it's supposed to have a mayoral session that evening.
And so, given that the mayoral session is going to be that evening, would it be important that people bring their questions, their concerns? I think it's geared mostly towards food, correct? Or can they bring any issue that's burning on their hearts?
Yeah, well, the Chicago Food Justice that committee has sent questions to the aldermanic candidates and the mayoral candidates. So I think that they will be. They're already collecting some of the answers, but I think that they are gonna. That's going to be some of the issues they're going to focus on.
Okay. Okay, great. And okay, so here's a question. I guess just wrote in, where can I get seedlings, or what would you recommend to be the best way to start a garden? Should I start it from like a little plant? Should I start it from a seed, an heirloom versus anything else?
Well, you can start it anywhere you would are most comfortable. A lot of people start their seedlings in the kitchen. If you have a south-facing window where you can get plenty of sunlight, you can, start your herbs. If you have a backyard, you can start a backyard garden. If you are in a community that has community gardens, you can start there, because we really need all the help that we can get in terms of keeping the community gardens uh, clean, and there's a lot of work surrounding growing food, so you can start there. You can get your seedlings uh, from the seed swaps. We often have seed swaps,
Oh,
or you can get it from Johnny Seeds, Territorial Seeds. All you have to do is uh, Google some of those, and there are seed companies all around. Um,
but I will say, from what I hear, not all seeds are created equal.
that's right. Sometimes, if you have, well, there are inferior seeds, and the way you can tell is the seed. Usually, if it's plump, uh, it may be a good seed, but if it's flat, it may not germinate uh, that well, or it may not germinate at all. But it's interesting when you have plant seeds in a great environment and nutrient dense soil.
Hmm.
Over 3 generations, it would become an excellent seed.
Interesting. Okay. Very cool. So, any last words for those who are listening in today?
Um, I wanted to say that my point in doing all of this is to make sure that people have nutrient dense food and the nutrient variation. Like if you look at that chart, you would have to eat today 15 times the amount of grapes that you ate, say, 100 years ago to get the same nutrient value.
Yeah.
And that's what this chart is showing. That some of is showing how much you would have to eat,
Yeah.
and but you don't have to eat that much if you make sure that the soil is nutrient dense, that it had those 4 elements: soil,
Yeah.
energy, uh, it had the foundational minerals, the humus, the microorganisms, and the trace minerals.
I
Yeah,
know a lot of people that come into the practice are always asking, well, can't my body function with just food? And do I have to take supplements? And, just like what you're talking about is our soils are so nutrient depleted and have been over farmed, and they don't put all the nutrients back in unless you're really conscious and growing your own.
hmm,
You're never going to get everything you used to get, like you're saying,
right.
years ago. And that's where supplementation is really important, so you can get that additional nutrient in your body so it can function as it's supposed to.
That's right. And I would say eat as many colors as you can. Uh, like most people eat the orange carrots, but get some purple carrots in because they have, twice where they have like this graph, 38% more than an orange carrot.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Any last words?
um, yeah, I like everybody to know that we can we can do this. We can ask people for the nutrient-dense food. We can find locations where people are growing. There are farmers who grow that way, and all you have to do is look for it, and it will happen. It will happen, and we suffer because we don't ask for it, and
Mm,
we think we actually are getting healthy food when we're not.
yeah. Yeah. I like that you mentioned about asking for it, because if you don't ask, guess what? You don't get.
Mhm.
At least asking for it, you have a better chance of getting it, right?
Right, right. Ask
Yeah.
and it shall be given to you. Knock and the door shall be open.
That's right. That's right. And as Moses did, he took that first step in the water and then the seas parted.
Yeah,
So it takes action, 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 action steps. And it just take, like I'll say, it may take just one baby toe step forward to get yourself to a life full of vibrancy and health. And so one of the links that we have here to Garden to Table Pipeline in North Lawndale in Facebook And any other links, or they can get the other links from the
Yes,
Facebook page,
yes,
right?
they can.
Okay, so there's lots of resources for everybody. And last but not least, remember 5 people that are watching the show, type in Heart 15 and you'll get a free 15-minute meditation custom created for you. And then the next 20 people that like and subscribe will get a free mystery box. Yay! And so it will be a mystery. So be sure, like and subscribe and put Heart 15. And we'll be in touch with you real soon. So thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you under the alder tree real soon. Oh, one last thing to let you know is we now have our own app for booking your appointments and scheduling for classes. So it's Alder Healing app. Go run to your app store, download it, and you can see what appointments are available for your liking. We look forward to seeing you real soon. So come join us under the alder tree where magic happens. 630-328-3928. You can also reach us at info@alderhealingcenter.com to book via email, or you can go to our website at alderhealingcenter.com, book appointments there, and find out what else we're up to. So reach out to us today, 630-328-3928.